And it doesn't matter if the Earth is round or flat, because either way, the layers of the Earth and other planets and the moons in our solar system, and probably other solar systems, are identical to the technologies you see here, including semiconductor, computer chips, digital imaging and biosensor chips, antenna chips, and other technologies that can be spherical or flat, with me using both types in this video and with no effort being made to differentiate or explain each and every detail. Let us notice how there is some serious activity going on at the cores of the planets and the moons, just like we have some serious activity going on at and near the cores of and centers of this computer equipment and sensor equipment, antenna equipment. The cores of the living planets and moons are called geodynamos, and I am not going to include a bunch of pictures because it will break up the cadence, but the rotations and churning movements of these geodynamos are instrumental in producing electromagnetic fields, just like the electromagnetic fields produced by the electronic and optical equipment we are looking at in this video. It is also significant that the geological layers and respective geochemical and atmospheric chemical compositions of the planets and moons in ours and other solar systems are more or less identical to these technologies we are comparing them to, all of which are made with various amounts of silicon, silicon oxide and dioxide, plus iron, magnesium, aluminum, titanium, germanium, basalt, plus other metals and crystals, including what are called rare earth metals like neodymium, lanthanum, cerium, terbium, and all the rest that are used in the production of state-of-the-art electronic and optical equipment of any kind. And this includes hydrogen, helium, and methane, plus other gases that are respectively abundant in the crust and atmospheres of the planets and moons and solar systems throughout the universe. The internal and external structure and dynamics of these technologies are mere images of the internal and external structure and dynamics of the living planets and moons. Let us bear in mind that these technologies that you are looking at are electromagnetized. Key words: electromagnetism. The living planets and moons are also electromagnetically active, just like these technologies that we see here. Now, I don't claim to absolutely know that the planets and moons are indeed technology, with their cores being some kind of computers or sensors and lens structures, but they sure look and act like the parts, including these digital imaging chips and lens structures, including charged coupled devices and complementary oxide semiconductors, aka CCD and CMOS chips. But what is significant here, and this is especially significant, is that CMOS digital imaging chips have been merged with what are called laboratory on-chip devices. Lab-on-chip devices are just another type of sensor out of many types that are used by doctors and scientists to study and manipulate DNA, cells, and particulates at the microscopic level. This type of sensor includes what are called digital microfluidic lab-on-chip biosensors, which fall into the category of semiconductors, and Earth is a semiconductor that is largely made of water. The other planets are semiconductors too. And spitting images of these lab-on-chip devices, whether or not the Earth and the other planets be round or flat. With regard to Earth's relationship to the Sun and the Moon, the Earth could be any of these technologies you see here. The same could be said of the other planets for that matter, including optical and photonic semiconductor, color sensors and biosensor chips, and camera and lens structures, as well as lens antennas and other technologies that involve a visible or invisible light source of some kind. This includes what are called optofluidic biosensors. I personally think that our and other solar systems are combinations of the technologies you see in this video, but more sophisticated. And there are no two ways about the fact that the radiation from the sun is bombarding the Earth with hard radiation like gamma radiation, including X radiation, that is passing through the Earth and through its life forms as well, along with neutrinos from the sun, not unlike the dynamics of these technologies you see here, including biosensors and lens structures and camera and digital imaging chips, photonic computer chips, and other semiconductors, which include biosensors, including lab-on-chip biosensors, which are made with lots of silicone, by the way. And silicone is one of the most abundant elements in the planets, including the Earth. The radiation from the sun might be picking up information on the life forms on its way through these life forms into the crust of the Earth. The relationship between the Earth and the sun could render Earth any of these technologies that we see here, including computer technology, lab-on-chip biosensor technology, and a long list of other technologies. And when we include the cores of the planets, like the Earth, this changes the equation to something more sophisticated. Now the cores, I think, are some kind of ultra-sophisticated sensor nodes, lens nodes, computer nodes, including hyperlens nodes. The interior of the Earth may be picking up information, electromagnetic information, from the electromagnetic fields produced by Earth's life forms. This technology that the planets are made of is so sophisticated that we do not even recognize it as technology. So the next time you look down at the ground, think about that gigantic, churning, rotating blob, sphere of alloy that rotates and churns beneath your feet. Think about its electromagnetic field as well as that produced by the sun. Next time you see the sun, think about the sun, think about the Earth, think about the moon. Next time you look above your head and look at the sun and the moon, think of them as some kind of lenses or cameras or source of light for these technologies that we see here, especially with regard to the sun, or even perhaps the light reflected from the sun. But either way, the Earth appears to be some kind of biological chip, biochip, laboratory on a chip, merged with a computer chip. And the solar systems are probably equal opportunity machines insofar that planets that evolve life automatically become targets of the observation platform we call a solar system. Now the outer planets may be too far away to be picking up optical and or magnetic information from the organisms on the Earth, but I think I am making my point with these comparisons of the dynamics of our solar system with this microscope and spectroscope equipment. But the solar system, I think, is also some kind of communication array, bearing in mind that the planets are antennas. And of course, the solar system is also some kind of centralized Wi-Fi array, with the sun or the earth being the router, or the server for that matter, because it really doesn't matter whether the earth is the center of the solar system or whether the sun is the center of the solar system. The fact of the matter is the solar system is in part organized like a communications network, a Wi-Fi network, a computer network, a tracking network, a data acquisition network, plus a 3D camera network. And I could go on and on and on, but here are some more examples of the internal and external structures of the planets compared with technology. And there is no denying the similarities. And my theory is that we live in a empty, void, godless universe, or we live in a universe that is built of bits and pieces of technology, and a universe that is thriving with life, with the galaxies and the planets and living moons being platforms or substrates for these life forms to exist on, and that's not even the half of it. I am going to conclude this video by saying that not only is the Earth a laboratory on a chip, but the Earth is a laboratory on a chip inside the laboratory on a chip or disk we call the Milky Way galaxy. And scientists and doctors have recently merged centrifugal microfluidic lab-on-disk biosensors with microsphere biosensors. And so we have a system of a big sensor harboring a little sensor inside of a big sensor. And that's not even the half of it. And if you like this video, subscribe, share, give it the thumbs up, leave questions and comments. I have other videos out there under Cybernetic Universe or Technoverse or other names. Click the links, by the way.